All right, today we're going to take a look at how to make a subscene for Gamemaster, your actual Gamemaster mission. And to do it's actually relatively easy. The game pretty much does it for you. There's a couple prerequisites you want to do first, though. Um, you want to make sure that in your main project world, the main world you've been working on, you probably have a SCR AI world in it. Not a big deal if you do. What the AI world is it handles the nav meshes that tell the AI how to traverse your terrain. And you may have done this already to test out what is going on in your world, make sure the AI is working properly. A lot of people recommend you have the AI world in the subscene. I have noticed that too, that sometimes in my subscene, it just won't work if the AI world is in the main map. And I have to delete this and then redo the nav meshes in my subscene. So to try to give the best information out there I can is you can leave the AI world in here when you make the Gamemaster mode through a automated tool. It's going to place down a second AI world. So you have to make sure that you at least delete one of them. For the purpose of this video and what I have read and experienced myself, it is best to delete this one and use the one placed in the subscene. So I'm going to delete this. And then you also want to make sure that you do not have any other game modes in your world. So a game mode would be something like this: game mode base, campaign, anything like this. If you've placed any of these in your world, you need to remove them from your world right now. Those are going to go in the subscenes you're going to make. So to recap, we are deleting the SCR AI world and delete any game modes that you have placed. So I'm going to go and hit save, and we are going to hit create new world. We're going to do subscene of current world. We're going to hit save, and your project folder, worlds, and then we're going to name this tutorial YouTube. So I already have a Gamemaster subscene in this. Ignore that. You don't need nor really want to, but I'm just doing this for the purpose of the tutorial. All right, so it's now made that. We're going to go and close out, and we're going to reopen. So get your camera position somewhere where you want the initial camera when you load in the Gamemaster to be at. So I like to kind of go middle of the map and kind of have it angled down a little bit, just wherever you see fit. Just don't have it underneath the terrain or on the outside of the terrain, and make sure your world bounds is set properly, which is this black box. If you do not see this black box, go to View, check mark World Bounds, and if that black box is small, if it doesn't cover your whole map, you're going to want to watch the video that I'll have linked of how to fix your world bounds. Very, very simple, takes like 3 minutes, but you want to make sure that is proper as well. So we're going to go to Plugins, Game Mode Setup. If you don't see Gamemaster here already, click the Browse button, follow this folder directory, and find Gamemaster. Hit Next. It's going to ask, do you want the workbench to scan your world for the required entities needed for Gamemaster? Yes, you want that to happen. It's going to tell you that you're missing all of these entities, which is perfectly fine. That's why we're doing this. So go ahead and hit Next. It's going to ask, do you want to create them? Yes, you do. It's going to tell you that the AI world will need nav mesh, and the map entity, which is your paper map, will need textures and things applied to it. AI world nav mesh I have covered in a different video. I will link that in the description as well. That is required to have your AI traverse the world properly. If you do not have SCR AI world with a proper nav mesh configuration, very easy to do, but you'll need to follow my video or follow a tutorial on that. So that will set up at a later date and time, and your map entity is something different. I do not have a video on that yet, but when I do, I'll link it in the description, so keep an eye out for that. And we're going to go ahead and hit next. A mission header. So this is the actual mission for Gamemaster. We do want it to make a header, so hit create header. It's done it, so hit next. And it's saying that it appears to be configured correctly. So you could, right now, you could try and play it if you want, but we're not going to do that yet. Go ahead and go up to save all. And just to make this quick, we're just going to go through this. These pictures you can change to whatever images you want. I'm just going to leave them default for right now. A briefing if you want a briefing. Just go through these settings just for the purposes of this video. We are going to not mess with those. So if you want to change this later on, the folder directory is your project folder and then missions, and then the one that you want to update. So we're going to close this, go back to your world, and you're going to see that it dropped on the terrain these two items, your map entity and your AI world. And notice how it's telling you the same thing that that box told you. Configure nav mesh and set up map textures. Again, this is a separate video on nav mesh. I will link it. Map entity, I will link Bohemia's tutorial on it. It's very simple. If you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy to do. So let's go ahead and test this out. So we're going to make sure that we are not playing from camera position. We're just going to play in full screen and go and hit play. And look at that, we got a crash. Stand by. All right, let's try this again. Not sure what caused that crash, but camera position's good, that's good. All right, and if you notice, it put us roughly where we were at when we made the camera, or I'm sorry, we made the game mode. So right now we could make a faction. Let's just do US, create a player, random soldier, and we're gonna play. So the only thing not working right now will be the AI. So let's just say we place an AI down and we tell them to do something. Make sure you hit play. Tell them to move. They aren't going to do anything. That is because the nav mesh is not set up. Once you set the nav mesh up, that should work properly. Same thing with if you tell them to move in a vehicle. So you could theoretically stop here if you want on this video. I'm going to show what should only be one more thing about how to change the initial camera setting for your Gamemaster when you log in. So this came up as a question in Discord very recently, and I looked into it, and I'm going to link this tutorial here. But this is the Atlas guide, page 22. So I can go back to this quicker. This is the Atlas guide. It's a bunch of people have put into this. It's put together by Jake Rod. This is a phenomenal tutorial. A lot of what I've learned has come from this. A lot of times when I reference things, it's referencing out of this. So I'm pretty much following this verbatim. So you can either do this on your own or you can follow along with me. So I'm going to actually make this screen here a little bit smaller so we can follow it. So it's telling you that make sure you have a Game Master set up properly. We do. It's set up. We use the plugin. We have only one AI world, and we are going to go to the game mode editor full entity, which is this here. In its object properties, we are going to look for SCR game mode editor. It's right here. We are going to right click on it, hit add component, and type in SCR editor camera defaults component. All right, so when you click on it, it adds it. So you'll see it right here. And then select that component, press the plus button, and it's going to add a camera. And then there's camera position and camera angle. So the tutorial is telling you, move your camera to the position and angle you want to use for that location. So let's just say I want it to have a view from here. That's where I want my Gamemaster initial load-in camera to be at. Down here is where the coordinates for that are. So if we make our camera position 2996.55, 194.74, and 3597.93. Camera angle, I haven't fully figured this out. I'm just kind of copying it, but I haven't gotten it to be exact. So 0.360, negative 0.215, and then negative 0.908. Go ahead and hit save. Always be in the habit of saving. And then there should be a camera somewhere. Looks like a pink square, but let's just go and go back into it, test it. So yeah, it's the angle still isn't perfect. You can mess around with that more if you want, but that's kind of how you do it. Just to show you again, if we're all the way over here, actually I'll just look like this, hit play, and it brings us back to here. So I just have the angle wrong. The coordinates seem to be proper, but the angle seems to be off, but that's how you do it. You can add more in here if you want, I guess. You should see a pink pyramid shape around the camera position. Repeat steps 7 through 11 as many times as you want. All right, so when I tested this, I did see that pink pyramid it was talking about. I don't know where it's at right now, but that's how you do that. Oh, there it is. It just kind of glitches in and out a bit. See, there we go. Maybe one of my numbers are backwards. All right. So nonetheless, you can figure that out. You can mess with that yourself if you want some more. That should be everything. Check the description for some extra links to some tutorials and this Atlas document. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you. I knew I forgot something. I'm going to kind of put this at the end of the video because it's not a requirement for Gamemaster or subscene. I'm going to show you how to enter Gamemaster from your main terrain world, like the actual project you've been working on, not in a subscene. So right now, if you were to play your map, you would not be able to enter Gamemaster. You wouldn't have conflict. You wouldn't have any of that. It literally just gives you your player in the map with what you've added. So the way to do that, what I like to do is I add a layer first, and I like to name it like this. Using Z in the beginning just keeps it alphabetical, so I can find it later on. What you're doing, you will not be able to properly play a Gamemaster or conflict or anything like that. So I'm going to preface what I'm about to do with what you're doing here can affect your subscenes because your game cannot have multiple game modes. This is only temporary. This is not how you do a Gamemaster. This is not how you do a conflict, a scenario framework. This is solely so you can test it in the world and move your guy around in a Game Master setting while in your world. If you're going to publish a Game Master or any other game mode, you will need to delete these before you do that. But again, those will not work because you will have 2 game modes or multiple game modes, and that is not going to work. So this is only temporary. All right. So we're going to go to Game Master or Game Mode. Oh, if I can spell. And we're going to look for Game Mode Editor. You could probably use Editor Full. I'm just using Game Mode Editor. You're going to need Faction Manager. We're going to Faction Manager Editor. And then I'm not sure if it's a requirement, but we're going to look for the Loadout Manager. Go and hit Save. And then I'm going to turn off Play from Camera Position so we can make sure it worked properly. All right, there we go. Now it gives us a game mode while we are editing our map. So you can play as character, and there you go. You can go back into Game Master, move your guy around. If your guy dies, you can respawn him. This is just a really good way to be testing things in your map, especially if you're in a heavy test session where you're trying to test a lot of stuff. So hope that helps you. Again, I cannot reiterate enough. Please remember to delete these. They will affect your other subscenes that have game modes in them. You can keep these in here as long as you want. It's just those game modes, those subscenes will not work if you have these left in this main mission when you're trying those out. So I'm going to stop repeating myself. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.